So Star Wars is making the headlines again, and this time it's because Daisy Ridley has revealed who Rey could have been. And no, it's not Palpatine. And as you can see in the title, we could have had a Rey Kenobi. Hi guys, welcome back. If you guys have been subscribing and if you guys have no idea who I am, welcome. I'm Allie. Today we are just gonna talk about this revealing news from Daisy Ridley herself in an interview. She did say, and I quote, just kidding, I don't quote. So pretty much what she said was, they were toying around with the idea of making Rey a Kenobi. To me, this is a problem. The fact that she's revealing that, not the fact that she is revealing that, but the fact that that was a thing. This proves everything that I have been saying all along, and I've actually never touched on this subject for YouTube, but if you know me, you guys know my thoughts on the sequels. I like the sequels. When it comes to being entertained, I was entertained. But when it comes to storytelling, filmmaking, it has a lot of problems. And this is one of them. My problem ever since, and I think we all realized it when we watched Rise of Skywalker. The problem was they did not have a plan. They did not have a plan, and this proves it. So how is this a problem? Whenever you are going to make a trilogy, especially for Star Wars, and especially if you're going to hype a history, like a character's history and background, you should have a plan from the beginning. You know, I think that was my problem when I saw The Last Jedi and then Rise of Skywalker. So let's talk a little bit about the movies themselves, how it led to this being a problem. So we have The Force Awakens. In The Force Awakens, they honestly, they don't tell us anything about Rey's background, except there's a background. The problem with, not the problem, but I think what got people hyped is the fact that they emphasized on this background and they hyped it up, especially in two scenes. There's one where they don't really say anything directly, but it's always when they're being asked, who is she or what girl? And then they pause it and then they move. And that kind of once, like indirectly, that makes us want to know who she is, right? And then on top of that, having Rey say, like, I don't know where I come from, and emphasizing on that a lot. So the two scenes were, I know Kylo Ren says, what girl? And then there's a conversation between Han Solo and Maz in Takodana, which again, once Maz like asked about her, they cut the scene. And then Rey's vision, and you know, so there's obviously, we're like, why is she having this vision? Why is this lightsaber calling to her specifically? There's just so much. And obviously that's where everything started. It could be a Skywalker, it could be Luke's daughter, it could be Han Solo's daughter, a sister of Ben Solo. Then The Last Jedi came. The movie itself was good. My problem is the fact that they hyped everything up and then they say you come from nowhere. If they were gonna go through with that story, they shouldn't hype up in The Force Awakens its background. I don't have a problem with The Last Jedi, as I know some of you do, but I do have a problem with that. I do have a problem with hyping everything up in order to have nothing at the end. And just making it seem like it's nothing. You come from drunk parents, you're nobody. Anyways, my dogs will keep barking in the background. You know, just go with it. We love dogs. It is what it is, right? I lost my train of thought. So yes, so that's, you know, I kind of had, in a way, an idea that there wasn't, that the plan there was something off about, you know, I've always asked myself how, whenever there's a trilogy and then they deal with different directors, I've always asked myself how that works and if it's a good idea. Sometimes it has worked. But I think this, and I'm not saying this because I think the movie's bad and because at the end of the day, Rian Johnson is an amazing filmmaker, right? But this just comes more with mixing two different visions with J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, and this kind of proves that it doesn't work every time, especially when you don't have a plan. So in this case, you know, that's when people were mad about The Last Jedi. I don't want to say specifically because of the nobody, but they just had a lot of problems with it, so they decided to go back with J.J. Abrams. So if you guys don't know this, you guys will know now. There was a script before The Rise of Skywalker. So The Rise of Skywalker was not the original script. The original script was actually called The Duel of Fates. That's what episode 9 was supposed to be. There are concept art for that film all over the place and it looks amazing. You see Rey with a double-sided lightsaber, a blue one, and you can tell it's a very interesting and different story than what Rise of Skywalker ended up being. Now, the thing about Rise of Skywalker is whenever, you know, at the end of the day, spoilers, if you guys have not seen this movie, why are you even here, right? So at the end of the day, she ended up being a Palpatine. So the movie starts off the Emperor Palpatine telling Kylo, "You were wrong, pal. You got it all wrong. She is a somebody. This guy here, grandfather, what's up?" So then, you know, it wasn't shown on screen, obviously, but then later on, that's when, I'm gonna do this again, part 2, I know who your parents are. They're actually not nobodies. You're a Palpatine, dude. Ugh. Whoops. So listen, what the bad thing about, well, not the bad thing, the thing about Rise of Skywalker that makes it controversial is the fact that this was proof that they did not have that blueprint, or they did not really have a good plan, or they just decided everything last minute because they saw the problems with The Last Jedi and they wanted to make it up to them and give fans what they wanted. At the end of the day, we don't really know if they had a better idea, even though Daisy Ridley said that they were working around trying to make her a Kenobi. And I feel like, and here's the thing, I want to emphasize this. Based on what she said, it doesn't sound like it was even set in stone. They were just working on trying to see how that could be a thing. And that was such a huge problem. Now, do I like the fact that she was a Palpatine? I would have liked it better if they did it right. You know, when it comes, and here's the thing, when it comes to the Sith, you could do so much with that storyline, in my opinion. You can make, you know, the fact that Rey came from a Sith family, you can just do a whole storyline there about the Sith. And they didn't. They just said, I'm a Palpatine, and then Rey's like, you're gonna die. And then Palpatine is like, yes. And she's like, wait a minute. But then she ends up killing him. Hold on, water break. But I think it was the way they did it that was a problem to me. And I've always, you know, what now the question is, would it have been better if she was a Kenobi? We don't know. I don't know. A lot of people have a problem with that because they like the fact that I think people prefer more the fact that she was a nobody, because it just comes to show that not everything revolves around the Skywalker family. If anything, there are Jedis out there. Honestly, I hate the term nobody. First of all, I hate the term nobody because it just feels like, oh, if you don't come from Skywalker, you're a nobody. Here's how I would have, if I was a filmmaker, if I was J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy, or, you know, whoever ended up deciding for the film, I would have not had her related to anyone in the Skywalker saga. Not even Palpatine, not even Kenobi, not even Skywalker, no, just no one. Instead, I would have created her being the daughter of a Sith, another Sith. Maybe Palpatine had a problem with an apprentice, and just create a story from there, and that could open up, you know, either a prequel or a series, and not have it directly related to the Skywalkers. Shh. Okay. Do not disturb, because I'm doing a video. Thank you. So that's what I would have liked to see. And also the problem with the sequels themselves, I'm gonna here defend John Boyega. Especially, I think the most obvious storyline that they messed with was Rose, and I feel that Rose had really unfair treatment in The Last Jedi, and then after that, cutting her lines, cutting her story, just everything, making her a small part of the film, of the very, very last film, after being such a huge part of The Last Jedi. That was unfair treatment. And again, this proves that you should always have a plan for the characters, always. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, John Boyega mentions, like, you know, for Adam Driver, they had a plan, and for Rey, they had a plan, for Daisy Ridley, they had a plan, but they really didn't. If anything, I think what he meant was that they always knew what to do with them. But even then, it was like, I feel this is what not to do. If you're taking a class about how to make trilogies, the Star Wars sequels are the perfect example of what not to do. And, you know, I know a lot of you agree with me. I know some of you out there don't like The Last Jedi.
Movies. I don't have information on movie popularity, though.
Anyways, I know some of you did not like The Last Jedi. I know some of you did. I know a lot of you did not like The Rise of Skywalker, but some of you did. Will they learn from this? I hope so. I hope so. I think after this, they should not touch anything related to the Skywalker saga. I think they should leave that and then create a little bit of hype. If they have a good storyline, just wait 10 years and do something. But I think, and this is, I'm gonna make a video about this for the movie pitch idea that I had. I think I want them to, in future films, I want them to explore more the history of the Jedi and the Sith. You know, and I'm not saying a couple of years back, no, I'm saying like hundreds or thousands of years before the Skywalker saga. So what are your thoughts on this? Would you have preferred Rey Kenobi? Would you have preferred Rey Nobody? Would you have preferred Palpatine? Or do you have an idea of your own? Comment, subscribe, and like, because we have, you know, this is a perfect way to start a conversation, especially with Star Wars. So yeah, like, what are your thoughts, guys? Let me know, and I'll answer back. Bye, guys, and may the Force be with you.